Hello everyone, welcome to my video on concept of this pointer in C++. In this video I am going to explain what is this pointer, what is use of this pointer, how to access data members using this pointer, how to return calling object using this pointer, some sample programs using this pointer, applications of using this pointer, and exercise for the students. So let us start with what is this pointer. In C++ there is a keyword this, which is used to represent an object. If you check the list of keywords in C++, you will find this is a keyword, and this particular keyword is having some special meaning and special purpose in C++, and it is used to represent an object. It is a special pointer which points to the calling object of a member function. So whenever any object is calling a member function using dot operator, that is object dot function, then that object is known as a calling object of a member function, and this is a special pointer which always points to such type of calling object. Thus this represents an object which calls a member function. So this pointer is representing an object. Which object? The object which calls a member function, that is nothing but a calling object. When a member function is called by an object, then this pointer is passed as an implicit argument to a member function. So whenever any object is calling a member function using dot operator, that is object dot member function, then internally this pointer is set to that particular calling object. It is passed as an implicit argument to the member function. So whenever the member function get executed, this implicit argument, that is this pointer, is always available for the operation within member function. Thus this pointer is passed to all member functions as an argument. So you may write any C++ program, and whenever you are calling any member function of any class using an object, this pointer is always there, and it is always pointing to the calling object, and it is always passed as implicit argument. It is not required to specify its name while calling a member function. As it is an implicit argument, it is not required to explicitly specify the name of this pointer. Internally it is automatically set to the calling object, and it is automatically passed internally as an implicit argument, and hence while writing a program it is not required to specify the name of this pointer. Only the object dot is sufficient. So this is about what is this pointer and for what purpose it is used. Now let us see how it works during the function call. So normally we are calling a member function like this, that is object dot function. For example, num dot greater. This is the function call where num is an object and greater is a member function, and using dot operator num object is calling a greater function. Now here in this example, this pointer is automatically set to an address of object num. So the address of num will be obtained, and that address will be assigned to this pointer, and like this pointer will point to object num, because num is calling object which is calling a greater function. It is also passed as an implicit argument to greater function. So after initialization of this pointer is passed as an implicit argument to the greater function. So The operation will be performed internally like this. This is equal to ampersand num. So whenever any pointer is initialized with an address, then the general syntax we are following, that is pointer is equal to address of object or address of variable or address of an initial element of an array, etc. So the same format is used here also, that is this is the name of pointer which is fixed and it is initialized with the address of object. In this example our calling object is num, and like this ampersand num will give the address of num object, and that address is assigned to this pointer. So in this way this pointer is initialized with the address of num object, which is calling object in this particular example. So this operation is internally done, automatically done. It is not required to explicitly initialize this pointer like this. This is only for your understanding, that is whenever num.greater function is called, internally this pointer is initialized with address of num object. So in this way this pointer is set to the calling object, accessing data members using this pointer. Now this is one application or one use of this pointer in C++, that within a member function we can access data members using this pointer, and it is used like this. This is the syntax, that is this arrow operator and data member name. So this arrow operator and name of the data member. So instead of using only data member name, we can have a prefix, this arrow. As this is a pointer, it is always used along with arrow operator instead of dot operator. So whenever we are using object, then we are using dot operator, and whenever we are using pointer, instead of dot operator, arrow operator is used. Example, let us see, this is a class. Set is a class having two data members x and y, and maximum is a member function which is returning integer type of value. Maximum function is going to find which number out of x and y is maximum or greater. So let us have the normal function definition. The normal function definition we are writing like this, that is int set scope resolution operator maximum, and here the set is the class name and maximum is the member function of this class set, and it is returning integer type of value. So that's why the return type is int, and maximum function does not accept any argument. So here the maximum function is a member function of set class, and the data members of set class are x and y. So like this, within this member definition we can directly use the data members in any statement. For example, here if statement is used to compare the value of x and y. If x greater than y, then return x. So this function is going to return integer type of value. So if value of x is greater than value of y, then obviously the x is greater and we will return x as a result. Else means the condition is false, means x is not greater, y is greater, so we will return value of y data member. So like this, here this is a normal member function in which the data member names are directly used. Now the same thing we can do with the help of this function. So see, now I am writing the same maximum function definition using this pointer. Here also now maximum is a function which is the member of set class and it is returning integer value. So here look here how I am writing the member names x and y. X is written as this arrow x and y is written as this arrow y, and like this your if condition will be this arrow x greater than this arrow y, return this arrow x. So in the normal member function we are returning x, and here using this operator we are returning this arrow x. else this arrow y, end of the function. So like this here, wherever you want to use the data member x and y, it is replaced with this arrow x and this arrow y. So in this way you can write a member function using this pointer to access the data member. Let us see the program, complete C++ program using this pointer, in which we will use this pointer to access the data members. The function problem definition is like this: define a class set having two integers as data. Write a C++ program to accept this data for one object. Find the greater of two numbers using this pointer. So whatever the concept I explained in previous slide, now the same function I am going to use and write a complete C++ program in which there will be a class set and there will be two integers as data members, and there will be one member function which will find which data member is greater. Let us write a complete C++ program using this pointer to solve this problem. So first of all, let us include iostream.h, iomanip.h, the required header files. Now I am declaring a class set having two data members x and y of integer type in the private section. Then in the public section I am declaring two member functions, getData and greater. The getData member function does not accept any argument and it also does not return any value, so hence the return type and arguments both are void. Second function greater, which does not accept any argument, so its arguments are void, but it returns integer type of value because it is going to return the greater number out of x and y. So end of the function, end of the class declaration. Now let us write the member function definitions of getData and greater function. So first, the member function definition of getData, which is the member of set class. So it is defined using scope resolution operator. Void arguments means no arguments. Void return type means no returning value. So using simple cin and extraction operators, we are accepting the value of x and y. Second member function definition I am going to write here of greater function. So here the set is the class name, scope resolution operator. Greater is the member of set class. It does not accept any arguments, that's why it is a void, and it does not return, it returns integer type of value, so hence return type is integer. So first of all, I will write the body of the greater function using normal data member names, that is x and y. So if x is greater than y, then return the value of x, else return the value of y. So here the data member names are directly used x and y. If the condition is true, then x will be written. If the condition is false, y will be written. Now the same thing will be written or can be written using this pointer, because this program we are going to write using this pointer. So here this is the place in your program where we can use this pointer, that is within the definition of greater function. So here I am writing now the same if else statement using this pointer. So replace this x and y with this arrow x and this arrow y. So my if condition will be this: if this arrow x greater than this arrow y. If the condition is true, return this arrow x. If the condition is false, return this arrow y. So like this, here the if statement, if else statement is written using this pointer in order to find which number is greater out of x and y. So like this, here instead of writing the direct names of data members x and y, you should write this arrow data member. So in this way, this particular normal member function definition is replaced with this another member function definition using this pointer. Now let us write the member function. Anti-main, first of all create the object s of the type set, then declare a max variable which is our output variable, where the result will be stored. S dot get data, here I am performing input operation, that is object S is calling get data member function. So this is the function call which will accept the values of X and Y data members. Then the function call of greater function, the greater function is called using by calling object S and dot operator S dot greater. So here S is acting as a calling object and this is calling a greater function, and this function call will return one integer value and that will be stored in the variable max. So like this our result is available in the max variable. Let us display it. See out, greater number is equal to max, return 0 and end of the function. So like this the main function is over. Now let us see what will be the output of this program. So output will be like this: enter two numbers 56, 88. These are the two numbers where 56 will be stored in X and 88 will be stored in Y, and greater function will find out the greater number as 88, that is Y, and that will be assigned to max and it will be displayed as greater number is equal to 88. So like this is a simple program, C++ program using this pointer which is used to access data members within the member function. Now let us go for another application of this pointer, that is returning calling object. So this pointer is used for returning calling object within a member function. Let us see how. So important application of this pointer, that is this pointer is used to return calling object of a member function. Returning calling object means what? The object which is calling the member function itself is written within the function definition. Let us understand in detail. It is used to return an object which it is pointing. So just in the beginning, in the introduction of this pointer, we have seen that this pointer is always pointing to calling object, and like this particular member function will return an object, that is this pointer which is pointing to object, calling object. Okay, so it is used to return an object to which it is pointing. So in terms of pointer, the object will be written, that is returning invoking object or calling object of a member function. So calling object is also called as invoking object because it invokes member function using object dot function format. Let us see the example. Here P is equal to P1 dot elder of P2. In this particular, this is the example of member function call. In this member function call, P1, P2 and P are the objects of person class. So here P1, then this is P2 and P. All three are objects of the person class. Elder is the function name which finds who is elder person and returns the elder person object. So like this elder person, that is elder function, this function accept one object, that is a P2 as an argument, and the elder function is called by an object P1. So the return object may be P2, that is argument object, or P1, that is a calling object. So out of P1 and P2, P1 is a calling object because it is calling elder function using dot operator, and P2 is known as argument object because it is passed as an argument to the elder function. So like this, P1 is calling object and P2 is argument object, and this elder function will compare these two objects, that is P1 and P2, within its function definition, and will find out whether P1 is greater or P2 is greater, and it will return the object. So like this, out of P1 and P2, the elder function may return P2 object or it may return P1 object. That is, the elder function may return argument object or elder function may return calling object. But the question is how to return calling object, because it is easy to return argument object. Just we can write return P2, but how to return P1? Because in the member function definition we are not using P1. So again the question is how to return calling object in member function. Let us understand with the example of this member function definition in detail. So here again P1 object is calling elder function with argument object P2, and it is returning another object, and that is assigned to P object. So member function definition like this, that is elder is the function which accepts person type of object. So that is person P2. Person is the name of the class, P2 is the object. So like this, P2 is an argument object of the type person. Then elder is the member function of person class. So like this, it is associated with person class which is related with elder function using scope resolution operator. And this red color person is the return type, because this elder function is going to return an object, and whenever any member function is returning an object, its return type always the class name. So hence here the class name is there, the class name of object which is written by elder function. So here elder function is going to return an object of the type person, and that's why here the return type is specified as person, which is indicated in red color. Okay, so in this header line of the member function you will find that the object P2 is available as an argument, but the calling object is nowhere, and that is the main question. Now while returning calling object, how to do this? Let us see. Now in this elder function definition, the body of the function, here I will compare the age of P2 object with age of calling object. Now if P2 dot age greater than age, so here P2 dot age indicates the age data member of P2 object, and age, only age, indicates the data member of calling object. So here calling object is not indicated as P1 dot age. Okay, directly age is specified, because whenever any object is calling the member function, its data members are directly accessed with their names, and that's why here two ages are compared, that is age of P2 object and age of calling object. Now if this condition is true, then the age of P2 object is greater, means return P2 object, and else age of P2 object is smaller and than the age, so this age is greater, means you have to return this object. Which object? Calling object. But how to return the calling object? That is the question. So like this, here whenever I want to write here return statement, here in the else part, return, I cannot write here return P1, because in the calling portion of the program, P1 is calling the elder function and P1 is acting as calling object. But in the member function, P1 is not specified anywhere, because it is internally passed and its data member age is directly used. But while returning, I cannot return object P1. So that is the problem. And now what is the solution for this? Okay, so here again I am repeating, this age is the data member of calling object, and here I want to return calling object which is hidden here. Okay, so how to return this hidden object which is the calling object of the function? Now here this pointer will help you to return calling object. The how to use this pointer to return calling object, that we are going to see now. So here the syntax will be like this. You have to write your member function, or you have to modify your member function like this. So there is the function, this function will accept the argument object, like there is the class and object. So you have to pass one object of the type class. This function belongs to this class, so this is the scope resolution operator and class name. Then this is return type, that this function is going to return the object of this type of class. So here class type will be there, and in between there is an address operator. Okay, so class type address means this function is going to return address. Address of what? Address of object. So that's why here this address operator ampersand indicates the function is returning address to the object of the type class. Okay, the body of the function will be there, and while returning the calling object you have to write return star this. So now this red color star this indicates that you want to return calling object. So whenever you want to return calling object, your return statement will be like this: return star this. So whichever object will call this function, that object will be written in terms of this pointer, because this pointer always points to calling object, and that's why that pointer we can use here as a return value in terms of return star this. So like this, return star this will return the address to calling object. So like this, here it is related with the address of the class type in this particular syntax, and this function we can say that it is a function returning an address or a function returning a pointer of the type class. So like this, the question that was raised on this left side, that is return what, how to return calling object. Now the answer is in front of you, that is you have to return the calling object in terms of this pointer, like return star this. Okay, so this is the solution for writing a member function which returns calling object. Let us implement this particular concept of returning calling object by writing a complete C++ program. So here is the problem definition, that is you have to write a C++ program to declare a class person having data members name and age. So there is a class person and the data members are name of person and age of person. You have to accept this information of two persons and find the elder person using this operator, or sorry, this pointer. So elder person means the person whose age is greater. So two person names and two ages will be there, and you have to compare the age of two persons to return the elder person. So let us start writing a C++ program. So as usual, include the header file iostream.h. Let us declare a class person with two data members name and age. In the private section, name is a string and hence it is declared as the char type array having size 15, and age is an integer value. Then in the public section, the first member function is declared, that is a get person, which will accept the value of name and age data members. This member function does not accept any argument, hence argument is void, and it also does not return any value, hence the return type is also void. Second member function is put person, which will display the name of person, age of person. It also does not accept any argument, hence the argument is void, and also does not return any type, return value, and hence the return type is void. Third member function is elder, which is returning person type of pointer. So person ampersand indicates address operator and it indicates pointer address. So address means pointer. So elder function is going to return pointer to person type object, that is the meaning of this person ampersand, and it accepts one object of person type, and here this object is passed by reference. You can pass this by value also. Passing object by value will not require this ampersand symbol, and passing object by reference will require this ampersand, that is the address operator. End of the class. So like this, the class is declared. Let us write all three member function definition outside the class. First is get person function, which is the member of person class, not returning any value, not accepting any argument. So simple input operation, that is enter a name, then get s name, enter age, scene age. So as name is a string, I am using getS function to accept this string, and age is an integer value, so I am using scene extraction operator age to accept the value of age. So this is the member function definition of get person function. Second member function definition is a put person function. Put person function is a member of person class, so it is defined using scope resolution operator. It does not return any value, so void return type. does not accept any argument, void argument. Using cout name, cout age. So here both data members are displayed, one entity on one line. So like this, name is equal to name and age is equal to age. So now let us define third member function, that is elder function. This member function is returning calling object. So here this is the important function for our program, calling object. So elder is a member function which accepts the object as an argument, and this object is passed an argument by reference. So class name ampersand p2. So p2 is the object name, person is the class name, ampersand indicate that it is passed by reference, that its address is passed, not the copy of object. Then this function is returning a pointer pointing to person type of object. So it is indicated by return type as person ampersand, and this person indicates that the elder function is member of person class. So let us write the member function definition which returns calling object. So here now I am comparing the age of two objects. One object is argument object and second object is calling object. The argument object is represented by p2 and the calling object is indicated by this pointer. Okay, so the age of argument object is greater than age of calling object. Like this is the comparison, that is it is written like p2 dot age greater than this arrow age. So what operation I am doing? I am comparing the age of argument object with the age of calling object, and now if the age of argument object is greater than age of calling object, then return argument object, that is return p2, and if the condition is false, then return calling object. Now see, it is indicated in red color, return star this. Star this indicates that this is calling object. So here I am returning calling object. So like this you can write the member function which returns calling object, because the name of the calling object is not present here and it is represented by the special pointer named this pointer, and you can make the use of this pointer like this in the return statement, return star this. So in this way the elder function has returning the calling object. So person ampersand, this indicates that the elder function returns pointer to calling object, pointer to person type of object, and here it is done using return star this, which is returning address. Now let us write the main function or the main program. We will require three objects of the type person class, p1, p2 and p. p1 and p2, these are the input objects. p1 is representing person 1, p2 is representing person 2, and p is representing elder person. Out of p1 and p2, whoever the elder, that will be assigned to p. Let us accept the data of person 1, that is p1 get person. So this is the function call by p1 object. So the name and age will be accepted for p1 object. Then the person 2 information is accepted using by calling get person function called by p2 object. So here the get person function will accept the name and age for the object p2. Now let us pass this p1 and p2 to the elder function like this, p1 dot elder into bracket p2. So here p1 is calling elder function, so like this p1 is calling object and p2 is passed as an argument, so p2 is acting as argument object. So like this the elder function will be called with two objects, that is one calling object p1 and another argument object p2. The argument p2, that is object p2, is passed explicitly, that is as explicit argument, while the calling object p1 is passed as implicit argument to the elder function, and this pointer is pointing to this calling object p1. Then elder function will return either the calling object or argument object, and whichever that return object will be assigned to p object. So like this, here the result will be available in p object, Now let us display the result, that is the elder person. So the elder person is P. So display the values using put person, like this, P dot put person. So here P object is calling put person function, which will display the name and age of elder person, and in this way we will end our main function, return 0, end of the function. So this is how to write a complete C++ program using this pointer, in which there is a member function which returns calling object. Let us see what will be the output of this program. Person 1, enter name. Suppose the name of the person is Anushka Sharma, age 32. Person 2, name of the person is entered as Virat Kohli, age is 31. So like this, I have entered name and age of first person and name and age of second person, that is Anushka Sharma and Virat Kohli, and their ages are 32 and 31. And now which person is greater out of these two? So if you look at this data, the age of Anushka Sharma is greater than the age of Virat Kohli. So like this, Anushka Sharma is the elder person. So the elder person is Anushka Sharma and its age is 32. So like this, the output will be displayed. So in this way, the program will give you the correct output, that the person whose age is greater, that will be displayed as elder person, and this program is implemented using this pointer. So let us see the applications of this pointer. So there are three main applications of this pointer. First application is return object, just we have studied with the help of program. One of the important applications of using this pointer is to return the object to which it points, that is to return calling object in member function. So in a member function, you can return the object which calls that member function, that is the object which the calling object of that particular member function, and this is possible with the help of this pointer. So like this pointer is used to return the calling object. The format is given, or the syntax is given here in the red color, return star this. That will be your return statement in the member function which is returning calling object. Second application is to distinguish data members. So this pointer is used to distinguish data members from local variables of member functions if they are having same names. So in a member function, if there is a data member, suppose in our first program we have used x and y are the data members, and if in the member function there is another local variable which is having the same name, suppose x, so there will be the conflict between the local variable x and the data member x, and in order to distinguish these two x within the member function, this pointer is useful. So the data member x will be indicated by this arrow data member. So like this particular format you have to use. Whenever you want to write the data member in the member function, it will be attached with this arrow. So like this arrow data member will indicate that this is the data member, and without this will be indicated as that is the local variable. Then third application is method chaining. After returning object from a function, a very useful application would be to chain methods for ease and a cleaner code. So you have to clean the code after the use of return object is finished. You have to clean the code in the method and to chain the methods using arrow operators. This operator is useful. This is the advanced application of this pointer. So here is an exercise or assignment program for you. Write a C++ program to declare a class student having data members, roll number, name and marks of 3 subjects. So in the class student, data members are roll number of student, name of student and marks of 3 subjects, let us say M1, M2, M3. Then accept this information of one student and find the percentage marks using this pointer. So first of all, accept the 3 marks, that is 3 subjects marks, M1, M2, M3. Get the total of these 3 marks, that is total is equal to M1 plus M2 plus M3, and then find the percentage using this pointer. So this is a hint for you, that is you have to write the member function find percentage, which does not accept any argument and returns float type of percentage value. One local variable will be required, int total, and the total will be calculated as m1 plus m2 plus m3. So as m1, m2, m3 are the data members, they should distinguish from the local variables, so they will be indicated by this arrow m1 plus this arrow m2 plus this arrow m3, and then this arrow percent is equal to total divided by 3.0 and return this pointer percent. So here m1, m2, m3 and percent, these are the data members of student class. So using this member function, you can write the complete C++ program to find the percentage of a particular student. The second exercise program for you is write a C++ program to declare a class item having data members item code, name and price. Accept this information for 2 items and find which item is more cheaper using this pointer. So there are 2 items, every item is having code, name and price, and you have to compare these 2 items in terms of price. If the item is having the less price, then that item is a cheaper item, and this you have to find using this pointer. So here the concept of function returning calling object will be used to solve this particular problem. This is the hint for you, that is you have to write a member function like this, that is a cheaper, suppose is the member function name which accepts the object by reference of the type item class, and it also returns the pointer to object of the type item class. So there will be if statement, and that condition you have to write. If this condition is true, return the argument object it2 suppose, else return the calling object star this. So using this hint or the tip of the member function returning calling object, you can write the complete C++ program to solve this problem. For that, refer my second program, which will help you to write this particular second program. Hope you understood the concept of this pointer and its applications. Thank you for watching my video.